Moving to the breaking story tonight, and could a possible list of numbers which were hacked by the Pegasus spyware actually have led to the toppling of a government? Srinivasan has the latest details on what the Congress has said as fresh revelations from an international consortium include numbers of the Karnataka Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister's aides just before that government was toppled. Vasu.
That's right, Sonia. So the latest set of revelations put out by the wire says that there were senior Congress leaders, including G. Parmeshwara, who is Deputy Chief Minister. His number was on this supposed list of possible targets of Pegasus, as were the numbers of the officials or aides of people like Kumaraswamy, who is ex-Chief Minister, Siddaramaiah, also ex-Chief Minister, his aides' numbers also on the list. But it's important to keep pointing out, Sonia, that the fact that just because these numbers have appeared on the list, and this is being said by the various media houses reporting it, doesn't necessarily mean that they were snooped upon. It simply raises the possibility that they too may have been targets of Pegasus. But of course, the Congress, as you pointed out, has made it into a big issue and says that this direct snooping was one of the reasons why, in fact, the Karnataka government was brought down, something that the BJP has denied.
Right, Vasu, and of course the opposition so far maintaining a demand for a probe, a judicially monitored probe. This, as Israel's NSO has told NDTV that they don't know anything about this leaked list of numbers, a database of numbers accessed by a French NGO and then revealed by an international media consortium. But politically, the opposition have said that they are going to agitate in Parliament till a judicially supervised probe is ordered.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने, मोदी सरकार ने ऑपरेशन कमल के माध्यम से प्रजातंत्र का अपहरण और लोकतंत्र का चीरहरण किया है। और क्या यह कर्नाटक की सरकार गिराने तक सीमित था? शायद अगला सनसनीखेज खुलासा होगा कि इस स्पाईवेयर के माध्यम से मध्य प्रदेश की कांग्रेस की सरकार भी गिराई गई, या फिर अरुणाचल की सरकार भी गिराई गई, मणिपुर की सरकार भी गिराई गई, गोवा का जनमत से भी कांग्रेस को वंचित कर दिया जनमत मिलने के बाद।
ऑल इंडिया तृणमूल कांग्रेस will not allow Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha to run at all till the government comes and has an open discussion on this.
And Trinamool Congress is going on record saying that the Honourable Minister on the floor of the Lok Sabha lied yesterday. This has not been categorically denied. The NSO leak was through WhatsApp. WhatsApp is currently suing NSO in a US court over the use of Pegasus.
Opposition leaders from Karnataka, that is Siddaramaiah or Parmeshwara or myself, when we running the coalition government, at that time, BJP friends, they are misusing their office, good office, to get information by tapping our phones.
Meanwhile, as India has so far not responded to opposition demands for a judicial probe, remember that yesterday the IT minister said that there was no substance to these sensational charges. France has gone ahead and ordered an official probe. French prosecutors will now open a probe into spying on media. The investigation in France will examine 10 different charges, including whether there was a breach of personal privacy using the Pegasus malware. The website Mediapart has filed a legal complaint over the spying claims, where the spying was apparently ordered by Morocco on about 30 French journalists. Meanwhile, Apple's whole security focus has really fallen flat after the big Pegasus reveal. So Apple's stock also hit hard, and Apple's bug bounty program offering $1 million for details really of how their phones are being hacked via iMessage. So Rajiv Makhni has this report on why exactly Apple phones aren't really the safest around anymore.
Let me first start by warning you that this is a story that will run a little shiver down your spine. But it's important because it's also a cautionary tale of just how vulnerable and open technology is. We all believe our phones are very safe. They're with us in our personal possession, thus they cannot be hacked into or compromised. Unfortunately, we've always been telling you this. This is a major myth. But here, the situation is much worse, and it's to do with zero-click attacks. Several thousand iPhones may potentially have been compromised with a wave of zero-click attacks. Now, what is a zero-click attack? Zero-click attacks are remote cyber attacks that can infect a device with malware without the user ever interacting with the malicious link. You do not need to click a message or an email or a URL or go to a fake website, which is the normal ways of infecting your phone. This happens with you doing nothing. Your device is compromised with a single message that has to appear on your phone, or an email being sent to the device, or a voice call just being made. That's it. It just needs to be sent to your phone and bam, you're done. These zero-click attacks enable the Pegasus spyware, which has access to literally every part of your phone: messages, calls, remotely turning on your device to listen to conversations you may be having in private in a meeting, your video camera, everything. Now, why am I talking only about iPhones? Are Android users safe? Not at all. Android phones were also targeted, but the number of Android phones infected cannot be certain, as unlike iOS, Android does not keep accessible logs useful for detecting Pegasus spyware infection. NSO spyware has been touted as the weapon of choice for certain governments targeting journalists, politicians, and many, many others. Now, with this new information that is coming out, it seems the numbers may be much larger. The larger story again, of course, comes back to what I started with, just how easy it is to completely invade and take over your phone without anything needed from your side at all. Zero-click attacks. Think of all that you have on your phone and all that you do with your phone, and the fact that someone can easily have complete access to it. Now, this is a breaking story. Keep watching NDTV for lots more.
The most worrying, as it's been called, the zero-clicks malware, which can infiltrate your phone and all your messages. But let's just move now to the latest COVID data. Well, India today saw the lowest daily COVID cases in over 4 months. That's great news. Just over 30,000 cases. It's the lowest in 125 days. Deaths are also down by 25% at 374. So good news again. And recovery rate now at over 97%. The daily positivity rate at 1.6%. The big worry, however, remains the vaccinations. If you look at our vaccination rate there, we're at the average there below 40 lakhs for the last 13 days. And that's a number that really needs to be ramped up. But the other big headline tonight is really from the latest Sero survey, which was done in June, early July. This looks at the prevalence of COVID antibodies in the population. And the latest Sero survey finds that nearly 68% of India's population, this is based on the sampling the government has done, does have COVID antibodies, a mixture of natural infection and vaccinations. However, the government warned that 40 crore Indians are still at risk, so we can't really relax any COVID restrictions at the moment. Also, if schools have to open, the government said primary schools should open first with fully vaccinated staff, since younger children are at less risk.
2 out of 3 people in the country have COVID antibodies. A new survey done by the government has shown. The Sero survey was done end June, early July, and shows a massive jump, almost 68% from January's 24%. However, officials warned that this big jump is partly explained by vaccinations. Almost 90% of those fully vaccinated had antibodies. Also, this means about 40 crore are still vulnerable.
इस सीरो पॉजिटिविटी में वैक्सीन लगने से भी जो सीरो पॉजिटिविटी आई है वो भी दिखाई देती है, क्योंकि अनवैक्सीनेटेड में जिनको नहीं मिला उनमें सीरो पॉजिटिविटी कम है, जिनको मिला तो फिर वो ऐड होके वो भी दिखाई दे रही है.
The survey also covered almost 3,000 children and reported that 57% of them had antibodies. The ICMR chief, Dr. Bhargav, said that if schools have to open, then primary schools should open first, but that this was up to each district.
बच्चों में एस रिसेप्टर भी उनके लंग्स में बहुत कम होते हैं, तो वायरस जहाँ जाके चिपकना होता है, जहाँ अटैच होना होता है, वो नहीं कर पाता. अगर स्कूल खोलने हैं तो पहले प्राइमरी स्कूल खोलने चाहिए.
However, experts maintain that people must continue to wear masks, avoid crowds, and get vaccinated. COVID's threat is far from over. The virus can still mutate, and even those who have been vaccinated can still carry and spread the virus, even if they don't get infected. NDTV Bureau Report.
Well, that news there, relatively good news, came amongst this government shocker in Parliament, where in a government reply, this government has said that there were no deaths because of a lack of oxygen in the second wave, according to what's specifically been reported by states and union territories to the government, to the central government. The government statement also said that due to an unprecedented surge in demand of medical oxygen during the second wave, demand in the country peaked to 9,000 MT, and the active caseload of the state and union territories was the primary determinant of oxygen. However, the main focus really is on this shocker, saying that there were no deaths due to lack of oxygen in the second wave. This, of course, as we saw people around us dying, gasping for breath. So strong reactions likely to come in to the government's statement there.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बार बार कहा मृत्यु रजिस्टर करिए, छुपाने का कोई कारण ही नहीं है। स्टेट करता है, उसको ही रजिस्ट्रेशन करना होता है, उसको डालना होता है। यहाँ तो किसी ने मना नहीं किया है। भारत सरकार आंकड़ा छुपा रही है। भारत सरकार जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आंकड़ा भेजती है उसको कंपाइल करके पब्लिश करती है। भारत सरकार का काम होता है उसको पब्लिश करने का, उसके अलावा हमारा कोई काम नहीं होता है।
So unbelievable. States and union territories have told the centre that there are no deaths because of lack of oxygen. Well, perhaps that's why the Supreme Court also had to once again intervene with very strong words for the Kerala government for the relaxations for 3 days before Eid tomorrow. The Supreme Court told the Kerala government that they shouldn't listen to pressure groups, even if they're religious, on what is the fundamental right to life. So pressure groups can't be allowed to clash with that fundamental right. They also said, however, it's too late now to actually take back the relaxation since Eid is tomorrow.
Crowds like this one at a market where goats are being sold ahead of Bakrid, prompting the Supreme Court to haul up the Kerala government for relaxing COVID restrictions despite the highest positivity rate in the country. The court has asked the Kerala government to follow its orders on the Kamar Yatra case in Uttar Pradesh, saying Kerala's move to give in to pressure groups, religious or otherwise, cannot interfere with the most precious fundamental right of all citizens of India. However, the court did not stop the relaxations, today being the last day, saying the horse has already bolted.
स्टेट पर ये एक जिम्मेदारी है कि जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट उसको फॉलो करें, और अगर इससे संक्रमण बढ़ता है तो कोई भी नागरिक सुप्रीम कोर्ट फिर से अप्रोच कर सकता है.
The sensible approach is to avoid mass gatherings anywhere, because COVID third wave is not something anybody wants, and we should make sure that whatever is done respects the sentiments of everybody, but at the same time protects life.
Traders and other communities, they are struggling to pull on their life to safeguard their interest also. Kerala government has done this, so nothing wrong in that.
While most shopkeepers feel the relaxation hasn't really helped business, customers are happy on the eve of the festival.
കഴിഞ്ഞ ബക്രീദിന് നമുക്ക് ഇത്രയും ഓപ്പണാക്കി തന്നില്ല. കുറച്ചുകൂടി ഒന്ന് നമുക്ക് കുറച്ച് പർച്ചേസ് ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് 2-3 ദിവസം തന്ന വളരെ നല്ലൊരു കാര്യമാണ്.
Significantly, the Supreme Court has asked the public to come to court if anything untoward happens and promised to take action. Will this open the door to a flood of litigations against the Kerala government? With Arunachalam Vaidyanathan, Osama Shah for NDTV.
Meanwhile, moving to politics, Punjab State Congress Chief Navjot Singh Sidhu is now in Amritsar, where he's going to visit the Golden Temple. This, of course, he's greeted by his supporters doing bhangra and crowds, no social distancing, no masks. But as Navjot Singh Sidhu is celebrating, there's one person he's still not met or who has reached out to him. That, of course, is the current Chief Minister, Amrinder Singh. Akshay has this report.
So right now we are in Amritsar, the home turf of Navjot Singh Sidhu, the party president of Congress in the state of Punjab. This is the home turf of Navjot Singh Sidhu, and here he has gotten massive support as far as the supporters are concerned. They have gathered here, thousands of supporters are present to greet the Congress leader after his elevation by the Congress party. However, the challenges still continue for Navjot Singh Sidhu, with the Chief Minister maintaining silence despite such a huge gathering. It has been over 24 hours that Sidhu has been elevated as the party chief, but still his journey continues to gather support. Navjot Sidhu has been travelling across the state from Patiala to Chandigarh to now Amritsar to gather support of the MLAs. Yesterday his team claimed that he has met approximately 60 MLAs in the state so far. Yesterday a high tea was organized by Rajinder Singh Bajwa, one of the senior leaders in the Congress party, where Mr. Sidhu was present. And as you can see right now, after paying his obeisance at the Golden Gate in Amritsar, Mr. Navjot Singh Sidhu and his entire supporters, all of his supporters are now moving from here. It is expected that Mr. Sidhu will also visit Golden Temple soon. However, the challenges still remain for Sidhu because now that he has been elevated as the party president, now his work is to unite the party and also keep in mind that the elections are just around the corner.
Akshay reporting from Amritsar. But meanwhile, moving to the other big headline, Shilpa Shetty's husband Raj Kundra is a key conspirator in the porn scandal, says the Mumbai police. He's a key conspirator in a case which the Mumbai police say is related to both creating and selling porn through his mobile app Hotshot. The police say that the victims alleged that they were lured into through acting offers and then were conned into doing these porn films.
After listening to the arguments of the Mumbai police, a court has sent Raj Kundra to police custody till the 23rd of July for further investigation. The Mumbai police told the court that Raj Kundra was a key conspirator.
The mobile app Hotshots has been removed from mobile platforms. Both Apple and Google have removed the app due to pornographic content. The police say they have evidence against Kundra, including a few clips which were recovered from Kundra's Mumbai office.
उनके ऑफिस से हमको अग्रीमेंट के पेपर्स मिले हैं, व्हाट्सएप चैट्स मिले हुए, ये सारी चीज़ें और पोर्नोग्राफिक क्लिप्स भी वहाँ से बरामद हुई है.
Police say the women were paid around rupees 10,000 for these clips, and some of the victims complained that they were lured by the promise of breaks in web serials. Ryan Thorpe, who used to look after information technology for Raj Kundra, has also been arrested after the searches at the office. The police have clarified that in investigation so far, they have found that Raj Kundra's wife, actor Shilpa Shetty, did not have any active role in the conspiracy.
In the fresh office search that we conducted yesterday, we found lots of incriminating evidences based on which we arrested.
According to the police, Kundra's role was exposed after the arrest of a woman, Gehna Vashisht, who named the businessman's former personal assistant, Umesh Kamath. Umesh Kamath then revealed Mr. Kundra's involvement. The police say that the pornographic content was created by Kundra's company. Raj Kundra has denied any involvement and has claimed that he had sold the Hotshots app to the wanted accused, Pradeep Bakshi. The police allege investigations reveal that Mr. Kundra kept routinely updated on the finances of the app and also set up a WhatsApp group on which the production, distribution and selling of Hotshots clips was discussed.
The police have seized 7.5 crore rupees in connection with the probe so far. The police allege that Raj Kundra may have worked through a UK company to avoid tough anti-pornography laws in India. The police are also looking at similar apps and other companies in connection with the probe. In Mumbai, with Sonia Singh and camera person Sanjay Mandal, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.